Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new video. My family and I are currently in Tokyo. Also, I apologize if you can't quite feel me. It's like raining a little bit, and also like we're in the middle of this forest that would have pink cherry blossoms everywhere if it was springtime and not summertime. So there were birds tweeting. But anyway, the point is, we are currently in Tokyo. We arrived like a few days ago. Honestly, not documenting every single day lifts the pressure off, which is very nice for me. So anyway, in other news, I'm currently reading Invisible Sun. This book is a YA contemporary following a black main character, and he's readjusting to his life, like his normal life, after spending 2 months in a juvenile detention center, basically, because he was framed for a crime that he didn't commit. Is that thunder that I just heard? I don't know. Basically, that's the story. However, his life is not as normal as he remembers because the pandemic just started as well. Honestly, whenever I read books about the pandemic, especially the early like 2020 March days, you know what I mean? I have to remove myself from it so it doesn't become like too emotionally overwhelming, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's definitely affecting my rating of this book. So far, I will say I am enjoying this book more than the author's debut, although I can't quite remember my full feelings about that book because I read it 3 years ago. So yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically after this, I'm going to show you the footage from the Aquarium that we went to yesterday. Definitely my absolute favorite place in Tokyo so far. At the beginning of that footage though, I'm going to show you some like city Tokyo footage as well. I love filming B-rolls of like the city and seeing what like normal people see every single day, if that makes any sense. So yeah, there's that. It's the next day. Yesterday we did a food tour, which is why all of that B-roll footage is from previous days and not actually yesterday. But anyway, currently I finished Invisible Sun yesterday. I rated it 3 stars, and I'm currently reading Fourth Wing. Yes, that adult fantasy that everyone keeps jabbering on about, so I decided to read it. The only thing that I really know about this book before going into it is that it's an adult fantasy. It follows a main character who's training to become a dragon rider. It's a lot of like cutthroat competition, and she's disabled, which is perfect for Disability Pride Month because today is July 1st. So specifically she has EDS and so does the author, so that's interesting. I'm really excited to continue this book. I'm like 10% into it so far. I am really enjoying it. So yeah, that's the update. Tomorrow we're going to Mount Fuji, which I'm really excited for because obviously it's an iconic Japanese like tourist place. So yeah, I'm not sure how long this video is going to be exactly, but basically so far Tokyo has been great. I love the city, the food is so good. I'm currently at lunch right now, by the way. But anyway, yeah, that's the update. Fourth Wing so far. I'm 10% into it and it's pretty good. So I'm back in my hotel room now, but I wanted to give you more thoughts on Fourth Wing. My current thought is that I'm about 40% through it right now. I don't love her love interest, if I'm being completely honest with you. I knew where the romance was going to be headed before I read the story. Like, I knew which character was going to be her love interest, but I don't like him as a character. But also, since this book is set during this cutthroat competition, I'm not completely emotionally connected to any of the characters just in general, except for the main character, because obviously I know that she's gonna make it, because the main characters almost always make it. You know what I mean? It's like in Squid Game, when I was watching that for the first time, I didn't allow myself to become too emotionally connected to any of the characters, because I knew that like almost none of them would survive, if that makes any sense. But anyway, overall, I'm enjoying the world building and the plot and the disability representation. Those three things are very, very solid and very engaging. However, I have very low expectations for this book, like, overall. Just because historically, when there's a book that, like, the entire internet is, like, jabbering over and just talking about all the time, it tends not to be that great or that, like, groundbreaking or anything like that. Just because the majority of the people that have been hyping up all of these, like, famous, like, book talk books lately are the same type of people that discovered their love for reading again during the pandemic, instead of people like me who've been reading since they were 4 years old, if that makes any sense. So basically, like, those people who rediscovered their love for reading during the pandemic, like, naturally these are the type of books they love, like, hyping up, because they haven't read fantasy or romance books or whatever in a very long time, so naturally they gravitate towards these, like, mediocre mid books, in my opinion, because I've read other better books because I've been reading for much longer. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I'm not trying to dismiss or, like, diminish anyone's, like, reading tastes or journeys or whatever, because obviously taste is subjective. I just think it's important to, like, talk about and calculate and gauge, like, why people's reading tastes is the way that it is, before we start judging people for reading what they love to read. You know what I mean? I just feel like there are so many different factors that go into why people love what they love. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I tend not to judge what people read and what people enjoy, but I feel like when it comes to talking about, like, problematic authors and, like, authors who, like, romanticize abuse in romance books or whatever, and, like, why those authors have fans in the first place, it's important to, like, figure out why, if that makes any sense, and talk about, like, why those people are fans of those problematic authors or whatever, and why people like me aren't. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense at all, and again, I'm not trying to judge anybody, but basically, Fourth Wing so far, it's good. I think I'm gonna rate it 3 stars. Right now is where I'm currently at. So yeah, there's that. Hi people, so I finished Fourth Wing. I rated it 3 stars because for me personally, the romance was so unbelievably, like, cringe. I couldn't get behind it. I couldn't take it seriously. This book gave me very, like, Serpent and Dove, A Court of Thorns and Roses, like, typical, predictable, straight fantasy vibes, if that makes any sense. It's mid, it's mediocre, it's not worth the hype. I understand why people, like, hype it up so much, but I think the reason why people hype it up so much is more because of the reasons why I was talking about earlier, and less because the book is actually like good, if that makes any sense. Anyway, like I mentioned earlier, like, taste is subjective. Read what you want. It doesn't really matter to me. In other news, I won't be reading the sequel. I don't think that I will be filming anything tomorrow just because I want to take a break. I don't want to burn myself out. So I hope that you enjoyed all of these like vacation vlogs. We're going home the day after tomorrow, by the way. But anyway, the point is, there's that. So in conclusion, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the pineapple emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!